Back at it again, and we've got one here with Flecka's Talks. Shout out to Flecka's Talks that you guys sent my way. And apparently this is another 2A video, so I'm sure people are going to have some horrible takes. So yeah, goodness gracious. People just don't understand the importance of 2A. You know, like 2A protects everything else, but some people just won't learn until they've absolutely destroyed it all, and hopefully that never happens. But anyway, like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you guys are following me on social media too, and please be aware of the scammer in my comment section. I will never ask you to contact me on WhatsApp or to text me or message me on Telegram or anything like that. The only way to support this channel, monetarily, is via a super thanks or a super sticker. If you scroll over with a thumbs up, thing is, you'll see those options there. That is the only way. Any other way, it is not me. Okay, it is the scammer who has honestly made his profile look exactly like mine, so that is really scary. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there, and I want to continue to get that out there on videos here and there so everybody knows the situation. But with that being said, let's dive in.
Why is it so quiet?
Hey, this is Midge and Aiden for Flecka's Talks.
So what are you doing here today, Dalton?
I believe we have to amend the amendment.
I think we need to repeal the Second Amendment. I don't think that it's necessary. Other countries don't have it. It has nothing to do with good gun stuff. It was outdated.
I think the Second Amendment needs to be rewritten.
How would you, yeah, it's interesting. So how would you rewrite it if you got to?
Oh yeah, I haven't.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Oh, I think it needs to be rewritten. Okay, well, let's give us some ideas on how you think it should be. I don't know. Man. These folks are just... Did anybody else get frustrated when they heard her say that? Oh, I don't know. Goodness gracious.
How would you, yeah, it's interesting. So how would you rewrite it if you got to?
Oh yeah, I haven't really thought about it.
You have the right to bear a musket.
And guns.
A musket.
Why just a musket?
What?
That's what the founding fathers intended. They didn't
It says
know from
arms,
machine guns. They
not
didn't know
muskets.
from AK whatever.
But
It says arms. If they wanted us to bear muskets, they would have written muskets. It wouldn't be that difficult to do. Muskets. Plus, I think there was like a machine gun back then. There was another video that we checked out a while back. I think it was a Colion Noir video where he was talking about how there was actually a machine gun type, weapon back then. So, no, not just muskets, buddy. Nice try, though. Nice try.
machine gun existed 7 years before the Second Amendment was written.
There we go.
So
Yep.
here's the deal.
Bang.
The machine gun,
They didn't know from machine guns. They didn't know from AK whatever.
but the machine gun existed 7 years before the Second Amendment was written.
So here's the deal. Weapons of war don't belong on our streets. End of story.
Why are guns special?
When the facts come out, they run. They have no other explanation.
I mean, should we have a Second Amendment for bombs?
What'd she
End
say?
of story.
Why are guns special? I mean, should we have a Second Amendment for bombs?
The Second Amendment.
Can anybody guess where she lives? I bet I can. Second Amendment is important because when somebody kicks in your front door, you're going to wish you had it. All right? It's better to have it and never need it than to need it and not have it. That's my philosophy on it. What do y'all think? Let me know.
In my personal opinion, is the most important amendment because it actually protects every other amendment.
This was a just impulsive morning thought, kittens, not guns, since I had the t-shirt.
Yeah, but you're pretty... Oh, well, this is just for YouTube, but I'd love to give you some airtime. Can I interview you?
I mean, I don't need airtime. I just want you to be aware that there are kooks who are attracted to these sorts of things.
Oh,
who don't
I know.
have their facts straight.
I'm saying let's give the kittens to the children and get the guns out of the classrooms and reasonable gun laws.
I believe that any gun that can shoot a
I don't like cats. No offense to anybody that owns cats, but I'm not a cat guy, so no kids around here will be owning any cats, okay? dogs only. Roo, big dogs, you know?
and reasonable gun laws.
I believe that any gun that can shoot a big, huge round of bullets has no place. That's not for hunting.
That's
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Weapon.
I'm just trying to understand what you mean.
What are they called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't even know
Assault
you.
weapons are the ones that have a whole bunch of rounds, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of rounds?
So what would you like to see? What would you propose?
I would propose.
These folks have no clue what they're talking about. Goodness gracious. Assault weapons are the ones that have a bunch of rounds, right? Little do they know. you can attach 50 rounds to a handgun. What's that called then? Is that an assault weapon too? Is that an AR-15? I even think Joe called it an AR-14 or AR-13 or some weird name.
You know, the radical view is to abolish the Second Amendment.
The kittens will love it.
The kittens might love it. I feel like the teachers union is not going to support this movement, but
Well, you know, kittens can learn, so I think it'll be okay. One in each desk.
When I was growing up in Hayward in high school, we had police officers in our school. So,
and were there any problems? Was it
well,
good?
there was always a problem with Hayward because it was they had a lot of gang problems with Norteños and Sureños. So the cops would actually be there, and off-duty police officers would come there and protect us. So I never really appreciated it back then because I was like, you know, believe what these people believed in.
The A19 or what?
The A19?
Blanks on what it was, but yeah, I'm against any kind of guns.
So you think we should just like get rid of all of our guns?
I mean, personally, yeah.
AR-15 owners, I am coming after your gun.
I just think guns.
Good luck. Good luck. And I hope you're never in a situation where you actually need it. I hope you're never in a situation where someone kicks in your front door or you're not paying attention while you're pulling into your garage and someone runs in behind you. I hope you're never in that situation. Or you're walking into your house and you're just a little too slow because you're on the phone or you're carrying your groceries, shutting your door, and someone kicks it in right behind you. I hope you're never in those horrible situations. Because I've seen videos like that. And man, does it suck watching some of those videos. Because, I mean, who knows what happens in those moments? Right? You know, these people, I don't think these folks will ever appreciate weapons until something unfortunately happens to them or someone close to them. And even someone close to them, I might even hesitate. You know, I would say something happens to them. I guarantee you none of these folks that are advocating for getting rid of the Second Amendment and rewriting it or whatever the crap that means, live in areas with any type of crime. They live in the nice areas where there's basically no crime. You could leave your doors unlocked. You know what I mean? Like type situation. You can leave your cars unlocked and nobody's going to mess with it overnight. They live in those areas. You can tell. Because anybody in those areas where you can't do those types of things know the importance of having a weapon. They know the importance. It's just like, I don't understand. Anyway, let's continue.
Should not be allowed by like civilians. I think it should be police officers and military only.
Can you tell me what your sign says?
I'm just here because I don't really need a gun because I trust Hitler. He will protect me.
Okay, so what does that mean?
We do not
it just kind of means
message.
that you can't, if you believe that our president is like Hitler in any way or that we are capable of electing a Hitler-like president, we should definitely not just be ready to disarm ourselves.
I agree with that entirely.
How many gang members in Chicago do you think are NRA
Interesting.
members? You know, one thing. And then second thing, instead of talking about gun deaths in Chicago, do you think are NRA members? You know, one thing. And then second thing, instead of talking about gun deaths, how many people do you think were saved by people owning guns legally? Not just officers, like actual people that own guns legally.
More than you would think.
They wouldn't entertain that kind of that question, and then they just walk away from it.
Where do all these people get their guns and shoot?
Illegally.
Okay, well then, maybe we have too many guns on the street. We don't need that many. Tell the NRA to
Well, no.
make a difference.
Well, actually, the correlation is the more guns we have, the less Well, that was
when the facts come out, they run. So, what a disgusting event there. What a tragedy that, or disaster that honestly is. For some of the reasons that I touched on earlier, no sane person is going to advocate to get rid of the Second Amendment. These are all privileged folks who have never faced an ounce of danger in their entire freaking lives. Their entire lives. I grew up in the hood, so I know the importance of having a great equalizer. I've watched videos of, for example, there's one video that I'm thinking of right now off the top of my head where a lady was walking down the street. A guy rolled up, saw her walking alone. I don't know where this video was, you know, where it was taken or anything like that, or even when it was taken. But he pulled up, stopped his car, parked, hopped out, started walking up to her, you know, to try to grab her. She pulled out, you know, the great equalizer, and bow! He drops to the ground. She runs off safe, you know, in good health. Who knows what would have happened to her? Who knows if she didn't have that great equalizer on her? And obviously we all call it the great equalizer because that's exactly what it is. Any discrepancies in size or mass or woman versus man, that's all equalized when you got that thing in your hand. I don't care how big you are. you could be 10 feet tall and pow, 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 pow. You know, you're going to drop just like the rest of them. You know what I mean? So I hope that these women are never put in a situation to where they have to face their horrible decision on advocating for not having one, you know, because that's a tragic situation. I know some people who were in that moment and they aren't here to tell the story. Right. So I know the consequences of being in a situation where they needed it and didn't have it. So I refuse to listen to these folks talk about, oh, wow, nobody needs the blah, blah, blah. Yes, the crap we do. Because there are some evil people out here that I hope you never have the unfortunate, circumstances of running into. There are some very, very evil folks. But of course, they live in a bubble. Anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Shout out to Fleccas Talks. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his YouTube channel. The link will be down below in the description box. Peace and love. I'm out.